Hello friends, today we have a very special replay, as today we have a banger of a game between Goblin and Krystianer, recently played in an ESL Pro Tour, and this is set to be perhaps the game of the year, maybe even the game of the decade. As in the top left, playing for Team Rotti, we have Goblin, and in the bottom right, as the pink Protoss player, we have Blazers Krystianer. Now these are two European Protoss players that are pretty good. They're well known for all the top Europeans. These are players that you always struggle with when you face them on the ladder, when you face them in tournaments. And Goblin starts out with proxying his second pylon and is looking to perhaps proxy either a Stargate or a gateway over here. It could even be a Twilight Council or a robotics facility. Literally any building is allowed to be proxied here, except for a Nexus and I guess the assimilator I also wouldn't be too big a fan of. A forge is even possible. Back in the day we sometimes see proxy forges to truly confuse the opponent, to make them believe that you weren't actually upgrading and to make them believe that you perhaps were all-inning. Now of course we all improved a little bit, and having your forge halfway across the map isn't the most brilliant thing that you can do. Krystianer's actually looking for the pylon already with this worker. He noticed the lack of a second pylon and said, hey, if I just start scouting around the map right now, eventually I will get it. Maybe not in time for me to properly respond, but probably at least at some point in the future I'll know what's going on. As this target is going to finish up here, and we'll start chroning out an oracle. I'm not sure what unit with the S could be built from the Stargate, but I don't think there are any. What is it? Tempest, Oracle, Phoenix, Void Ray. None of them start with an S. I was going to say Stalker, but these of course get built from the gate. Adept as well here as an opener for Goblin. So Goblin definitely opening up some aggression, wanting to make his opponent feel a little bit uncomfortable. As we have this battery to wall off the ramp, making sure the adepts don't come in. Another pylon goes up here for Krystianer. Krystianer playing this extremely safe, by the way. So he gets the fast hallucination scout, sees that there is a nexus. He doesn't have anything in the main base. He's trying to get in the main base ASAP, but the oracle is already in. The adepts also come in, and Goblin's going to have a fantastic start here with the double adept, with the oracle as well. He's going to get 6 worker kills, and none of the units died either. Like, this would have been okay for Krystianer had he killed both the adepts and the oracle, but so far the only thing really missing for Goblin is a little bit of HP on one of the adepts and the energy for this oracle. No battery in the main yet either. There's no tech going up, as we see Goblin follow this up with a robotics facility immediately. He is pretty late on his own nexus, and although he killed 7 workers, he currently is only up 2 workers. Now of course that could still get, you know, to a way higher number, as the double adept is still alive. Well, actually I say that, and I think these 2 stalkers might have done some work here, as one of the adepts has fallen, the other one is pretty much in the red, but at least both of these oracles are still alive, and oracles are always an asset. Whether that is going to be for stasis wards, revelation, so you can delay your own robotics facility, or just for killing workers in the middle of the game, in the later, the later part of the game, it doesn't really matter. Goblin with that robo, I wonder if he's gonna pump out some immortals. Maybe he just was afraid of a counterattack, of course. Is a real possibility. If you see your opponent open up with 6 gateway units before warp gate, and they just put out 2 or 3 more warp ins, they have a crap ton of units. They have 12 units if they do triple warp ins, then move across the map. You usually can't really get as many gateway units out yourself if you open up with Oracle, and then getting an immortal is a fantastic way to still tech while also getting a better defensive unit. However, Krystianer was not really planning on that and is just getting a Twilight Council himself. Double Oracle is still on the map. Bit of a supply block was here for Goblin. Will be unsupply blocked right now. There are 4 Stalkers out already though, and I think Krystianer is in a pretty stable position right now. Goblin is going to try to poke the bear one more time before Blink finishes. Says, hey, maybe with triple adepts, double Oracle, I can maybe sneak into a main base, fly by with my oracles, you know, kind of pull my opponent apart. And here come the adepts, all 3 of them. Ooh, Guardian Shield there got activated. Was afraid of actually losing his sentry to these adepts, more so than anything else. Proxy Dark Shrine also being constructed. And these oracles are pretty darn close to that Proxy Dark Shrine. They might actually end up seeing that immediately. That gets scouted, and What is the correct answer here? Do you cancel this Dark Shrine, rebuild it in the main base? Do you let it finish? What really is the opportunity here for Goblin? Does he want to kill it? No, not really, right? He's afraid of moving out. Ooh, wait, is Blink already done? No. Krystianer, complete change of plan here, change of pace. Decides to follow this up with a 2-base glaive attack. Immortals being chrono boosted out currently, and Goblin already getting a couple of stasis bars. It almost feels like Goblin knows what is happening, like he can look into the brain of Krystianer here, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense to start building defensive stasis at this point. I like it, don't get me wrong, and as Goblin scouts the lack of a third base, it probably is a correct call as well. There's no forge for either player yet, by the way, so neither player is going to be getting any upgrades. However, the Blink is going to be slightly better in this type of scenario. If you have Glaive Adepts against Blink Stalkers, especially Blink Stalkers in a defensive position, couple of sentries there, the Blink Stalkers just outrange the Adepts. With the battery, they're going to be in a super good position. It's difficult to get pickoffs with Adepts as well. You don't have as much flexibility as you do with the Stalker. So I do favor Goblin's position here. Just a little bit. Getting the third base might not be the wisest call, but if you get a couple of batteries down here and you get these extra stasis wards going, might not even be the worst plan either. So, yeah, I really would like just 2 more sentries here, an extra battery or 2 as well. I mean, you know you're going to be under attack pretty soon. Yeah, the stasis wards are a very good call. I love these stasis wards. We really do need extra sentries, though. Sentries are absolutely vital against such a sentry-heavy army from the opponent as well. Goblin sees that. I think he just needs to give up this base. Good Adept Shade there, triggering that stasis ward. And this third base is going to be toast. The battery is going to fall as well. Goblin should not try to keep it. I am not quite sure why he's pushing into the force field. No, this is an incorrect call. I don't think you need to hold this. I don't think this is necessary whatsoever. There's a lot of Adepts on the way right now. I mean, Goblin is up, what, 13, 14 workers. This is not the Blink forward that you want. I don't think it is. No, I don't think it is. There's a lot of Adepts here. They have very high damage output, but they're not great when they're fighting a defensive position. I think Goblin should be giving up this base. He's also teching into +1 right now. And you know, these Adept Shades don't quite finish up. There's a lot of Immortals still, though. Another Blink forward. The moment you blink forward with Stalkers into Adepts, you're kind of negating the main advantage that you have, which is the range advantage. It is difficult for all Adepts to shoot at once, but if you blink into the Adepts, yeah, all Adepts are going to shoot at once. They might even get 2 volleys off before you properly get to return back home. Krystianer once again is going for a cancel on this third base. It is the correct call. Krystianer is up in supply, and he's in a pretty big way as well. I didn't quite realize how far he was up in supply here. So another Adept Shade comes in. Does not quite see the stasis, but he can finish the Shade. Does not finish the Shade. If you finish the Shade while you're in stasis, by the way, it will allow you to escape the stasis. This is one of the only tricks that allows you to get a unit caught in the stasis and then still get it out. Maybe if you get recalled and a unit next to you triggers the stasis, it is also possible that you get recalled out. But maybe you get recalled out stasis. I've never tried that before. This is a weird fight here for Krystianer. It's not looking too great, honestly. I still think the Goblin should be kiting back just a tiny tad. The more surface area these Adepts get, the better it is. You actually kind of want to clump up your army so that not all Adepts can fire at the same time. Right now, Krystianer, not in a terrible position. We're obviously going to need either a gateway or a pylon or a battery here to wall Krystianer's army off. I still believe that Goblin is in a fine position here with the +1 ground weapons. About to finish. Disruptor on the way as well. This feels kind of favorable for him. We have 4 more sentries on the way. It is a lot of Adepts though, and there's also a crap ton of Stalkers. At the same time, these Orcars are dealing a bunch of damage. A couple of probes go down. 6 workers. Goblin is up in workers. Needs to immediately use that super battery. Hello, Goblin? Oh, super battery is already on cooldown right now, and there's no more battery energy here. So this actually is kind of painful. This Disruptor is stuck. We'll get to move down right now. And there's no high ground vision really for Krystianer. He's going to lose all of these sentries if he isn't careful. Here comes the Disruptor shot. We'll get 2 sentries, another force field goes down, a bunch of workers going down on the side of Goblin as well. But still, if he survives with equal worker count, it should be okay. He has a lot of money in the bank right now. Oracle's coming back home, does not want to lose them though. Could use them to maybe damage some of these adepts here. Yeah, this is a very good call. Battery in the main base will save this Disruptor. Another big Disruptor shot is going to kill three adepts, I think it was. Prism is going to get sniped down, and that is a very big snipe. Don't forget, there's still no blink whatsoever on these Stalkers here for Krystianer. And add in the fact that there is a +1 already. I think he needs to recall out, no? This is recall territory right now for Krystianer. He's up like 14 workers. There's no need to stay here. He's fighting against like a 1-base Goblin. He just needs to get his own upgrade and maybe a couple of Immortals at home, but he should not be fighting into these Disruptors right now. It's a single force field and then boom, teleport out with a quick recall. He's probably too afraid to do that though, afraid to get hit by these Disruptor shots, but he's gonna get hit in the end anyway, so kind of painful. A couple more Adepts do make their way across the map. I'm not quite sure if they should actually be engaging into this. I mean, Krystianer is still just very far ahead worker-wise. I don't think this should finish. I do not believe this should finish. I think he actually should be heading home with these Adepts, like right now. Shade into your opponent's main base and then head home. Yeah, this is the correct call because this forces a bunch of units to be, to be kept at home. Then you can cancel that shade. You can't really chase with 5 Stalkers. You'll lose the fight against Glaive Adepts, honestly, even if you do have +1. So Goblin right now has a tech advantage, still has a single Oracle out as well. And, well, what else does he have? Oh, the Dark Shrine is still here, by the way. And he has the upgrade advantage. He's down in workers, though. It's not the end of the world because the main is kind of mined out. And I think Krystianer should just expand, take a, build a battery, and because he does have the worker lead. And that is the only thing he has going for him. He's going to get Blink, which is the correct call here. I do believe. I like the DTs as well being added in. Not really because I believe DTs right now are going to be useful, but because DTs later on in the game are going to be very useful. You can sneak them by when your opponent attacks, and if your opponent doesn't realize that you still have a Dark Shrine, of course Goblin should be capable of realizing that. Look at this. It's ridiculous. And he's gonna scout it the moment they start mining. You'll see it on the patch. You'll see some of the probes there, but I'm not a huge fan of this proxy nexus either, because it's going to be more difficult to defend. And Krystianer already has good ways in place to counterattack with adepts, with DTs. So it's absolutely not necessary whatsoever. He must be seeing this. Yeah, there we go. So this pylon will also see the pylon, I guess. They'll see each other. They'll be like, oh, that's not cool. Adepts are going to get spotted here by this Oracle. As the Oracle will see the nexus. Krystianer is going to be pretty pissed about this, but now he'll realize, oh wait, I guess the Stargate has longer vision range? That's kind of odd. I didn't know that. Maybe the Nexus sees it? No. Krystianer actually isn't aware right now that he is being spotted. He immediately recalls a bunch of probes. Should start a battery here the moment he can. It is 18 Stalkers, 7 Adepts and 2 DTs against 16 Stalkers and 5 Disruptors. Don't forget that these Stalkers also have +1. So any Stalker versus Stalker battle is going to naturally be favored here for Goblin. Goblin also gets a couple of free hits. This pylon is going to fall. That means there will be no more reinforcements. At the same time, DTs... Oh, 1 DT or 1 observer for Goblin, 1 observer for Krystianer. Don't forget that these Disruptor balls are here as well. Yeah, I mean, Goblin, this is a completely winning fight for him. He has more Stalkers, and he has 4 Disruptors, and he's up in Stalkers as well, and up in upgrade. Disruptor shot gets used, does not really get anything. You can always just blink forward. Yeah, I think this is not a bad call. Use the Disruptor shots to kill 1 or 2 of the probes. Ooh, Pro Pool. Big Pro Pool as well. Here comes 1 Disruptor shot. Blink forward. Yes. Kind of expected. Another big Disruptor shot could be hitting. At the same time, these Adepts in the main base are dealing a lot of damage. Now back in towards the natural. Goblin not paying attention with that Disruptor. Could be dealing some big damage against the Adepts. As Krystianer actually has a lot of Stalkers right now. Should blink forward. No. Does not want to risk it. He has a way superior Stalker count. And although there are a couple of Disruptors here, I'm not quite sure if that's going to be good enough for Goblin. The Nexus will fall, however. Now we'll see a blink forward. 1 Disruptor gets targeted down. I think he actually should have taken out more Stalkers. Disruptors without Stalkers as guards aren't that brilliant. Now the worker count is in favor of Krystianer once again. 26 against 13. That is double the worker count. But the income is completely the same. It is about it's just 4 patches that are being mined from. So you could be mining from these 4 patches with 8 workers, and you would be maximally, maximum saturation, basically. More like 12. 12 workers, and you have maximum saturation, and both players are kind of doing that here. Goblin actually was mining. He's actually mining more minerals. I'm not quite sure how. Oh, he still has 1 patch in the main as well. Okay, so that's gonna run out. So that was the reason I started looking at this. I'm like, how is it possible? He's down freaking 11 workers and he's out mining his opponent. Now, with the long distance mining, that's going to add a little bit of money in the bank here for Krystianer, who is, however, down in, well, currently actually everything. So he's down in, except for Stalkers. He has 2 more Stalkers, but his opponent has an Immortal. His opponent has upgrades. His opponent has basically everything. He has more of everything. This is a fact, and, that is just a fact. It's a fact. That is what it is. Now, these Stalkers are going to move across the map, and this will allow Krystianer to probably kill a lot of workers once again. We might be looking at a proper base trade scenario here. 3 DTs are being warped in. Did he just snipe an observer? I think it was an observer or stasis ward there. Robo's going to get taken out as well, and that means that the only type of detection, the only way to detect DTs right now is going to be this Oracle, which sees these DTs, or well, could see the shimmer of the DTs. I think he saw it. He was using that. He saw it, but he does not want to risk it. He does not want to throw it right now. I still believe that Goblin is in a fine position here. He managed to pull out, 3 workers towards this army. Krystianer, however, has 4 workers on the map over here. There's 4 workers on the bottom left side as well, and he's already building a nexus. So Krystianer, once again, with the slight eco advantage, as, well, maybe he can actually get more workers out. Oh, Krystianer pulled these away! Should have hidden them behind. Does not quite get to walk out the way that he wanted to. Charge is about to finish up, but I don't think it's going to be too useful. Might actually want to cancel that. Warp in a couple of extra Stalkers while you still can. That gateway is going to get taken out, or that pylon will get taken out, and as a result, these gateways will not be capable of warping in. Both Nexi are now down for Goblin, and Goblin will have 3 probes remaining. And that is it. Nothing else but 3 probes. And what are the advantages that Krystianer realistically has at this point? He has the eco advantage, and he has actually a pretty big advantage in that there are DTs on the map, but there's only 1 source of detection. This makes splitting the army really difficult and kind of impossible. Yeah, that definitely got spotted here. Yeah. The movement there with the Oracle, the moment that went into observer mode, you just know that he saw a shimmering light, and he was like, that looks weird. I think I can kill something there. You might even see this one as well. I think Krystianer's being a bit too obvious with his movement there, with those observers. I mean, you don't have infinite observers anymore. He's also very forward with these Stalkers. I mean, it's 19 against 17 Stalkers. This is a winning fight for Goblin. If you're down 2 Stalkers, but you have an upgrade, you can fight and you'll win. Let's not forget that he also still has the Oracle with the possibility to harass. It is kind of dangerous though, because if you're harassing and you don't see your opponent's Stalkers, he blinks under your Oracle, you're freaking dead. Like, you're absolutely dead. It sucks as well for Goblin that he took this base, which has, well, what is it? That's 1k over here, like 1100, 300 and 120. It's like 1500 minerals left, 400 mineral nexus. Like, that is... There's going to be 1100 minerals to be gotten from this base. It's barely going to be enough to get, to not be supply blocked anymore, basically. It makes me wonder why I didn't just take this base. It is a fine position as well, in my opinion, or a more forward base if you want to. Take the bottom side base, I don't care. It's a very easily defendable base as well here, by the way. Would have made life easy as well attacking this one, because let's face it, Krystianer is just down. He's technically still losing in this game. Well, not technically, he is just losing in this game right now. It's just a way superior army here for Goblin, and I just don't really see a way for Krystianer to stretch out this game. If Goblin decides to push out right now, you can send in a DT, I guess, but your Disruptors with their splash should be capable of dealing with it. These DTs do not have blink. And that means that you can just hit them. If you have 4 Disruptor shots, yeah, you're going to be capable of hitting him. No, like, absolutely no chance. You also have an Oracle which can Revelate and just use the Pulsar Beam. Now, here comes 1 Disruptor shot. If the DT kills just 1 worker, that would be huge, of course. But if you're winning the game at the same time, that would also be kind of huge. So yeah, here we see the Disruptors against the DT. And yeah, it's just gonna get it. And I think this can, like, Goblin should not be waiting too long here, is what I'm trying to say. He actually managed to kill, what is it, 4 Stalkers right now? 1 extra Stalker has already been warped in. But yeah, he killed 4 Stalkers. He's up in Stalker count currently. Like, this is... I feel like the main priority should be attacking the base. This... I don't think he should be chasing all of these Stalkers right now, but he is going to be chasing these Stalkers. He's gonna get another kill for it. So the effort is paying off. Maybe he wanted to take out this pylon and the dark side. I kind of like that as well. We have 1 more observer coming in. Goblin leaves 1 Stalker in the main base to deal with all of these gateways. Do like the effort. Just making sure that these gates can never be used ever again. Probes transferring down. I'm not even sure where these probes came from, but they were just standing up top, having a blast. Maybe they were attacking the assimilator or something like that. Thought it was the job of this DT though. Once again, Goblin is trying to move back. He's still only on 3 workers. Needs to really start adding either a nexus or a couple of pylons at this point. So he can, you know, start building more crap. He really needs that. Don't forget, if he loses all 3 workers, he can never not be supply blocked anymore. Because he can't actually get any. What is Krystianer doing here? He wanted to snipe that Oracle, but instead, he's going to lose 1 Stalker. He's going to lose a 2nd Stalker. He's going to lose a 3rd Stalker. Oh no, Krystianer, now you're in trouble. Now you're in a world of trouble. Let's not forget how risky this is, though. How risky this is right now for Goblin. If he loses these 3 workers, he'll never get anything again. And I love that Krystianer is leading his opponent away from the base. He says, hey, I can bleed out units. I'm getting about 4 Stalkers a minute right now. I have infinite gas. Every minute I gain 4 Stalkers. If you only kill 4 Stalkers and I kill 1 of yours, that is a fantastic trade as long as you don't take out my source of money. Because eventually I'm going to have enough Stalkers. 2 more Stalkers get warped in. And I think that is just going to be the plan here for Krystianer. And it is a very good plan as well. Ooh. I like the Forge here. I really do like the Forge. Although I probably would have preferred getting another Nexus and more pylons. I think the Forge is not a bad plan. You can get a couple of cannons here, which means that the DTs will not be capable of doing anything. Cannons plus stasis wards, a very potent combination. This will allow Goblin to start moving out. However, he needs the Oracle here. Can he get that? He should be capable of getting it. He should not be afraid. Just get it. I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of right now, Goblin. There really isn't. He's gonna get these extra cannons. Oh, he's in a great spot. Goblin's in a fantastic spot right now. All he needs to do is move across the map at some point. Where's this Immortal? Okay, it's in this army. He's still equal in Stalker count, but right now a 3rd gate is on the way already. We have 2 more Stalkers being warped in. Don't forget that this was the main base of Krystianer. This was the main base of Goblin. Right now they have, well, Goblin took the natural of Krystianer, and Krystianer took a base in the bottom left. He seems very fond of that base. He already tried taking it once before, and now once again. So we see the move out currently, and I think this is 100% the correct call. I just don't think there's anything that Krystianer can do at this point. Here comes the Oracle with the Revelation. Should just get that DT, right? Weird blink forward. We'll get it though. There's 1 DT moving in at the same time, but there's triple cannons. There's a bunch of stasis wards, and yeah, this just looks really, really rough. It is 12 Stalkers, 1 Immortal. Battery gets targeted down immediately right now. Oh, Stalker would blink away. Zealot gets targeted down as well. Yeah, lots of these probes are going to fall. Another probe pool. We've seen this exact scenario before already. Lots of hallucinations in this army. He kills his own Stalker with a Disruptor there. Very sloppy play out of Goblin. You can't afford this type of mistakes right now. He still will be capable of taking this out, I believe. Oh, the Immortal's alive. Blink, blink. You need to control your blink, Stalkers. There we go. Oh, Immortal's really low right now, though. Goblin is ahead in supply. But he's down in Stalkers. He's still up in upgrades. This Immortal is still alive. I feel like if he spreads out and takes a bit of a more ballsy fight, he should be fine. He still has the Disruptors to deny DPS from his opponent. And he has that insane damage output with the Immortal. He can single shot a bunch of these Stalkers. There's just a single worker left for Krystianer as well. This is insane. Okay, another... Goblin has not been controlling this perfectly. Of course, controlling things perfectly is always kind of difficult. Ooh, Immortal goes down. But he's been bleeding out a lot of Stalkers where perhaps he shouldn't. Can we get another recall? I think that's exactly what Goblin wants to do here. Is the recall even available? Yeah, no, the answer is yes. There's definitely a recall available. Here comes the blink forward. 1, 2... No, went for the Disruptor again. Okay, so now we have 13 Stalkers. Oh my god, this base is about to mine out. Okay, so we have 13 Stalkers against 4 Stalkers with +1. There are cannons and stasis wards. There are Disruptors. Oh my god. They do have blink on cooldown, so they can just blink away. This is not the end of the world. You can always just blink away. If you just spam click blink, you should be fine. Try to snipe one of these Disruptors. He probably wants to force these Disruptors to shoot so that they can try their luck on these stalks. I mean, you need very precise timing. It's kind of unlikely. Double shot, double shot, double shot, double shot. It's a very, very big one here. Oi, 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 oi. 6 Stalkers right now against 3 Stalkers. There is still the 1 Oracle as well. And we have the 4 Disruptors. And let's not forget that Goblin is outmining his opponent a significant amount right now. This is 2 workers. Well, it's going to be 3 soon. Soon to be 4 even if he builds another one. Against 6. The problem is this base is mining out. 165 minerals remaining. That is not going to be good enough for a Nexus. This Oracle... Oh my god, this is brilliant. The Oracle across the map. If it kills just these 3 workers, that would be enough. Would it be? 1, 2. Doesn't want to lose the Oracle. Correct call out of Goblin. Says, hey, what is more important? 1 more worker or keeping the Oracle alive? And the correct answer is keeping the Oracle alive. He knew that there still was 1 worker in production, so there would be continued mining. If there was no worker in production, he could have believed that his opponent has less than 50 minerals. And in that case, maybe sacrificing the Oracle in some situations could be worth it. However, that wasn't the case here. So he completely made the correct call. Now it's going to be 3 Stalker against 3 Stalker. With long distance mining, he can get an extra base. He still has these Disruptors. But the Disruptors actually, although they are very... Look at the army value. You look at this army value and you look at the upgrades and you're like, well, how can Goblin even lose this? Like, he's absolutely winning. But these Disruptors are actually useless. And I'm gonna, you know, even one-up myself there. I think it would be better for Goblin if he currently had no Disruptors. And the reason for that is that he wouldn't require any extra pylons. You could make an argument that attacking his own Disruptors to free up supply might be a good move in the future. Not right now, because he doesn't need it. He first needs a Nexus. But in the future, it could be the correct move. It 100% could be the correct move. I still believe that if he fights, by the way, with 3 Stalkers and an Oracle, he can probably take out these Stalkers. But then you lose the Oracle and then more Stalkers show up. So what's the point? Slowly but surely though, Krystianer is catching up and Goblin does need to start doing something, honestly. I like this little trap here with the stasis ward, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to work. He needs to start long distance mining now or never. It absolutely is now or never. And it seems to be never for Goblin because he's just not going. Okay, here they go, here they go. Here comes a Disruptor hit, is not quite going to get it. Even attacking with the probes could be worth it, you know? It could definitely be worth it. It feels like Krystianer is just continuing his worker production, though, and wants to get back that big eco-lead. He's going to need either another pylon or he could warp in a Stalker. I wouldn't mind if he warps in a Stalker right now. Increase his own Stalker count. Could be a good move. Okay, Goblin is moving in towards his own 3rd base. Is looking to establish that. Wants to get it. Disruptor hit. Doesn't quite get it. More pylons on the way, more probes on the way as well for Krystianer. This base is not even close to being mined out. And with this little bit of long distance mining, a Nexus will now be capable of being built. I think Krystianer spotted this, by the way. Realized what's going on. Yeah, I think with +1, you can fight this. Even though you're pretty damaged. You're dealing a lot of damage. You should be somewhat okay. Especially you have a stasis as a backup. I like that this Oracle is over here. Just making sure that none of the extra Stalkers can join. 1 extra Stalker is about to join though, and that could be an issue. There's no cybernetics core, is there? No cybernetics core on the way. So in order to produce more Stalkers, Goblin will first need to buy a cybernetics core, and that is a long, long way away right now. That is not around the corner whatsoever. 4 Stalkers are out already here for Krystianer. Krystianer just adds another gateway rather than producing more Stalkers first. I'm a little bit doubtful of that move. I mean, probes are important, but... Oh... You know what actually would not have been bad either at some point? If Goblin would have pulled all of his workers and just gone with the Disruptors, Oracles and the Stalkers. And just gone for this base. Tried to kill it. That might have actually been the best plan. There's an interesting micro fight here where Krystianer has more Stalkers, but with these Disruptors maybe you can make something happen. Krystianer though, yeah, slowly but surely. He's actually getting the increased numbers of gateways right now. I'm not quite sure what this probe is going to be doing, but I sure hope it's not going to be a Nexus. Disruptor shot almost hits Goblin's own Stalker. Stasis wards are absolutely everywhere right now, but these Stalkers are so annoying because they can take out probes as well. This game makes absolutely no sense, and Krystianer is making even less sense. He's getting a Nexus right now. He's up 15 workers, my friend. You don't need to do this, but he's gonna do it anyway. He feels very comfortable in this game right now. And Goblin, I don't think there's an option for him to win anymore. I actually don't believe it. This probe is going to spot the Oracle, which means that if Krystianer is paying attention, he can go there and do something. Oh, look at that. Look what nice fish we caught in our net today, my friend. There's a Goblin. I'm not sure if these guys have used Blink already. I think they haven't. It's not on cooldown. That's a miss, no? That's too early, yeah. Damage. Another one. Another one. That's actually kind of painful. Yeah, these guys had Blink anyway, so it probably wouldn't have mattered. Couple extra Stalkers on the side of Krystianer going down. This Stalker will stay alive for now. Krystianer should probably just try to kill this. Oh my god. The Blink control out of Goblin was very, very clean. But he's in so much trouble. 7 Stalkers are out. And yeah, I just don't think it's going to be possible. A couple of Disruptor hits are going to connect with the Stalkers, but yeah, that's it. There's just nothing left. It's a single Stalker against potentially 7 Stalkers, a couple of Disruptors. The Oracle is going to come in, and this is actually it. After 32 minutes of back and forth action, of comebacks, throws, and I don't even know what it was. An absolutely mental game on Berlingrad, one of the smaller maps in the map pool as well. We end up with Goblin dying, with 3 Disruptors still alive. Army value-wise, it doesn't even look that bad. But GG gets called, and Krystianer, without any upgrades, in a 32-minute game, actually managed to win. This is a freaking insane game. It's absolutely bonkers. I watched parts of it already before, and I couldn't believe my eyes what I was seeing. It's just so crazy. It's not the perfect decisions. It wasn't the perfect game, but a lot of the decisions were extremely high level in a situation that neither of these players have ever played before. Look at this. Freaking Disruptors dancing around their own Nexus. Goblin realizing the importance of the probes. Like, this is actually a masterpiece of a game. I love this so much. I really did. Fantastic PvP. Absolutely fantastic PvP. And the main example why PvP is by far my favorite mirror is because you can get these wild scenarios, these space trady scenarios, these weird openers. Wow, what a matchup. Big up to Krystianer as well for sending me the replay. Not a lot of people would have done that, but I do really appreciate it. So shout out to him, and thanks everyone else for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. I for sure did. It's a sick game, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.